All righty, welcome to Real Talk AI and Cyber Now. I'm your host Ron Hicks with Valentia here, and with my co-host Mr. Joel Hallbaker as always. What's going on, Joel?
What's happening, Ron? Happy
Hey
Friday.
man, Friday vibes, baby. I'm
Yes.
ready for a weekend. Well, Joel, I got some bad news for us today.
Mm.
AI is replacing jobs.
Oh man, you let me
Shocker,
go today.
shocker.
Is this it? Is this my last day?
This is it, Joel. We gotta let you go, man. It's Friday.
All
That's how you know. That's how you know. It always happens on a Friday. No,
right.
I really want to dive a little deeper into this fear. We're really seeing in the culture as we talk, we're in a unique position because we talk with people about AI and how to use AI in a positive way to empower people and how to implement AI in a secure way into businesses so that you can actually grow profit, increase income, reduce expenses, grow profit, be more lean, be better quality, better quantity, people empowered. We talk about this a lot, but it seems that there's something else going on in the culture. And here in America, especially, possibly around the world, and it's this backlash against AI. I don't know. Sometimes I think you remember Creed. They come out and all of a sudden the band, I mean,
How do you
they
not
had
remember
songs,
Creed? I mean, if
everybody
you
was
don't remember
loving them.
Creed, you're just too young.
I'm telling my age. But it's kind of I'm reminded as I sit here and talk with you right now about that. It's like sometimes there's a great sounding song, and like Nickelback is another good example. I'm telling my age and my music styles, right? But it's like it's a good sounding song, so I hate it. It's kind of I'm feeling a little bit of that within the culture of AI. Everybody's saying AI is so awesome, so I don't like it. A little bit of that, but a whole lot more of just straight fear and uncertainty about what it means for individual people. So today we're going to be addressing this directly head on with the facts that it is absolutely true that AI is replacing jobs. But what I want to do is this. I want to number one talk about what is AI, because when we say AI now, it can mean a world of things. So I want to clearly talk about what we're talking about when we talk about this AI. Secondly, what are the three kill zones? In other words, what is it that AI does so well that it's just going to replace people? And thirdly, I want to talk about five specific sectors of the economy, jobs. What specific sectors of the economy are people going to lose their job because of AI? So I want to jump right into first of all defining what AI is. So if we can, Joel, there you go, man. You're ahead of me. Throw up that share.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, this is the
That's the
fact.
AI right there.
Is that the
It's on
AI?
top
Is
of
ahead
it.
of me, Joel? You're replaced.
I know. That's all I bring right there. Screen share.
Done. Yeah, so AI is replacing jobs. So I've got to give some credit right here to my man Jeff from IBM, and I want to use a little bit of his content to start us out in our conversation here. First, I want to talk about the limits of AI, and Jeff makes a really good point in these videos. I saw this week. It's a video he put out last week. Now, let's first use his definition of what AI is. What are the limits of AI? Where have we come from AI? Where are we at right now? What are we seeing in the future for AI? Once we get that foundation first, then I want to move on to our second topic of what are the three kill zones and what are the five specific source sectors of business that are really going to take the largest hits. So, number one, let's talk about knowledge in general, or I should say DIKW, information, right? So, first at the bottom, we have data. In the second block, we have information. In the third block, we have knowledge. And in the fourth block, we have wisdom, right? It's DIKW. So, when we talk about information, Joel, it comes in a lot of different flavors. And AI is absolutely an IT thing. It's an information technology thing. So it's really core or centered around information, right? And so I want to look at this the way that we get different types of information to us. So at the bottom we have data, right? So let's say we got the data 10, 6, 42, and 8. Well, what in the world does that mean? Well, once you put some context around that first, right, then this data becomes information. Ages. Oh, okay. So now I understand what 10, 6, 42, and 8 mean. It's ages of people. And then when we interpret that, or we put some inference around it in AI terms, it would become knowledge. Most of these people are less than 21. Okay, I get it. Data, ages, or information, and then knowledge. But once you take this knowledge of less than 21 and apply some actionable items to it, or actions to it, rather, or some judgment, then it becomes wisdom. So data becomes information, becomes knowledge, becomes wisdom. And so maybe games would be appropriate to something to do with folks that are less than 21 in these age brackets. So you kind of see how the results of that bubble up. And when we're talking about AI, what we're talking about are the limits of AI, right? And so if we look here at the limits of what we thought in the past for AI, here in 1997, the question was, well, can AI reason? Can it problem solve? Joel, we've been talking about that quite a bit. And in 1997, it was proven very clearly. Now, of course, AI has been around a lot longer than that, but in 1997, it was this is the time where AI was put in place to beat the most famous chess individual in the world, right? And there was another program, AlphaGo, that beat professionals at Go. So the idea of reasoning and problem solving were absolutely considered to be limits early on, but were not true. Clearly not limits. Because AI is able to reason, AI is able to problem solve at a very high level. And that was way back in 1997, a long time ago, making me feel old here, Joel. The second one is natural language processing, NLP. And back in 1965, basically we had, hey, how are you doing today? I'm doing fine, type NLP, talking with a computer. But, the thing about natural language processing, especially human languages, is that there's a lot of inference in there. There's a lot of innuendo. Sometimes things are taken literally, sometimes they're not taken literally, but they're kind of figuratively. So human language is very difficult for computers. So maybe that was a limitation. Well, we see very clearly now, even in 2011, that conversational English and understanding of human languages was very much not a limitation and was overcome at those times. Other limitations, creating. Well, obviously, generative AI is called generative AI because it generates things. It can certainly create, not a limitation, clearly overcome. How about real-time robots? How about robots with real-time understanding and the ability to do things in the real world, move boxes, run faster than people, all these different things. We at one point we thought these were limitations, but all of these things have proven to clearly not be limitations. Joel, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, it's kind of the progression we've seen in science and technology forever, right? If somebody from 300 years ago were to jump into our timeline, we would all look like this would all look like magic. We'd be we'd be we'd be just they would be mystified by what they see. And so it's natural to look forward or to look at the limitations of the day and say, yeah, I just don't see how we're going to get past this. You're telling me someday there's going to be lights everywhere in the house, just that you just push this button on the wall and boom. I mean, going back to push button before switches, right? But
Magic.
boom, and like lights are just on and there's no fire involved with these lights, like not a candle they're carrying around. So again, just given this sufficient amount of time or whatever it may be, or development in technology, and it's going to look like something that was previously thought to be impossible. So
Absolutely.
this does make some sense. Will we ever get to the point where that's more common to look at something into the future and say like, well, yeah, it does seem impossible now, but no, we're going to get there for sure. Because I still think there's plenty of things that nowadays, today, even with AI and technology, that we say, I just don't think we're ever going to get there.
Yeah,
But
that's exactly
we
what we
might.
have on the right side of the screen. Are we
Yeah.
ever going to get to these type things? And man, if we did a deep dive on all the things that I got planned for us today, we'd be here 3 hours. So I'm really going to, really move forward quickly here.
Yeah.
But I really want the idea here of the question in our mind to be, what is the limitations of AI? And the point here is what we thought were limitations in the past, we were clearly wrong. Are we wrong now? And the point that Jeff makes here from IBM is that, in yellow here, you can see EQ, emotional quotient, right? Instead of intelligence quotient, IQ.
Hmm.
So, how much emotions does AI understand right now? Well, it can role play pretty well. I mean,
Yeah, I
it
can.
can pick up on different emotional things and go on, but it's probably not feeling those emotions that we feel, right? Hallucinations are the same. It's absolutely a fact that right now AI does significant amount of hallucinations, but we've got things in place, like RAG, going out and getting data, real data from sources to influence the context behind AI, so that it doesn't hallucinate. Looking at like a string of experts, right, or a crowd of experts. We had talked about using an AI board of directors, so that you tell AI to do something, and then have AI validate the results, right, of its answers against a board of directors, to be sure that we're getting the very, very best information back. We also talked about chaining, simply having one AI do the job and another AI verify that job, and even a third, and so forth. So there's quite a few techniques that we've already addressed, or put in place right now to address hallucinations. So this seems like very much where we're at with AI right here. And the future, what's next? Everybody's talking about AGI, right? Basic AI general intelligence. This is where AI can do anything that a person can do. Basically, whatever knowledge a person has, whatever a person can do, an AI can do. So just a general intelligence, the same as a person. We're not there yet. I think everybody can agree on that. But is it really a limitation? Do you think that's really far off, Joel? Do you think we'll get there?
I really don't know at this point because it comes down to it's almost a philosophical question at this point, right? Um, it, it it comes down to, can we define this general intelligence simply with a computer program, the intelligence that we have in our own minds? Some people seem to think yes, and I bring it back to philosophy because I personally believe we have a creator, and I believe there's more. There's a reason why we haven't created life yet, right? Like, I mean, all that we've tried, everybody, that we've tried to reduce it down to chemical reactions and electrical stimuli, we still haven't created life. So, can intelligence really be created within a computer? I don't know. It does seem like it's going that direction, though. I'm not fully convinced that it won't happen yet, because it's progressing so quickly, and it does seem like it wouldn't take long for it. I mean, what would we? It depends on the definition of AGI, but I mean, what it wouldn't take long for it to get to a point where, okay, it's making more independent decisions, and then it's got the resources to act on those decisions. Is that AGI? Maybe.
Yeah, I think it is, and based on
Yeah.
what most of the recommendation, or most of the people are defining AI as, you mentioned something specifically: a creator, understanding, consciousness, dare I say, a life. Notice none of those are on the left, on the right here. So, I think most people agree right now that computers are not alive in the same way that we, as the same way that we are alive with consciousness, right? But the Turing test, for way back in the 60s,
Hmm.
when artificial intelligence was originally defined as artificial intelligence, the Turing test is essentially, do you know that you're talking to a computer or not? Can you even tell? So, just on a human level, AGI, where AI can do basically anything a computer can do, an AI enabled robot, essentially. I don't think that that's too far off. And in fact, the next one, artificial super intelligence, whereas an AI can do not only anything that a person can do, but far better than any person can do. I think that's quite reachable. You know,
Yep.
but again, these are my opinions. I mean, everybody has their own opinion on what the limitations of AI. The point here is, what we clearly thought were limitations in the past have proven not to be. And I wonder how wrong we are now.
Well, I mean, when you talk about the super intelligence, are we not already in some ways there? When you consider, like, when Grok, the latest version of Grok came out, and Elon and was doing the rounds, talking about what's it called, humanity's last exam, I think it is. And
Yep.
so basically, to be a doctor level expert in every subject, right, and
Right.
take this test, I don't know that there's any human on the planet that could outperform what it did. They can outperform in their specialties, but in every area. And maybe that's just because, well, it's an open book to AI, right? It's got all the resources at hand, and it's got the speed to search and index and find what it needs that it would take a human way too long. Maybe that's why. I don't know, but that part of it doesn't seem so far fetched to me.
I agree with you. I don't, the thing in my mind that I'm looking at here is, do I see anything that's absolutely a hard stopper? This is obviously not going to be overcome because this is stopping it. I don't see anything stopping AGI. I don't see anything stopping AI, artificial or AI super intelligence as well. How about sustainability? Obviously, right now, a tremendous amount of electricity, power, cooling, money, GPUs, equipment, data center. There's a tremendous amount of just money spent doing AI. It costs a lot, and the harder, the more GPUs, the more difficult the question, the more the processing, the more expensive it really is. So, this sustainability, is there a limit to the amount of energy on Earth? Yeah. Is there a
Yeah,
limit? So, is this a hard stopper? Is AI going to basically be limited because it's basically going to suck up all the energy that can be made, or is that going to be the limiting factor, or is what we're going to see more efficiency, better results with less inputs, if you will, better result with less power usage? Is there going to be advances in sustainability? I think so. I think it's going to be much cheaper to get the same result in the future than it is now. I think we've seen that over and over and over, especially in technology.
well, I think it has to be. I mean, the way we're going right now is not sustainable for sure. You think about the amount of money being spent and the amount of power and resources being consumed for, as some people like to reduce it to, basically for a chatbot, right? Like,
Yes.
yes, it's doing a lot more than that, but to the vast majority of the users, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these massive projects that, I mean, just massive amounts of money, hundreds of billions of dollars. And then you hear these news stories of these towns where their electricity bills are skyrocketing, the
Yep.
water's drying up.
Yep.
So I mean, that's not sustainable, because in a lot of ways we're just getting started.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
we're going to need nuclear power, we're going to need something that creates a whole lot more energy. So, but we've also seen, right? We've seen with technology, we've seen with computers that over time, yes, it does get a lot more efficient and cheaper to use.
Yes. Well, we've seen the cost of AI implementations in businesses getting cheaper. I
Oh yeah.
mean, not to turn it into a commercial, but hello, if this is what you need, you're talking to the right people. You're looking at the right folks here, because we implement this stuff and it is amazingly um, cost effective. It really is to be
It
able
is.
to get up and off the ground with AI now. So it is certainly becoming cheaper, and I suspect it to become much cheaper as it moves forward. We've got a long list of things here on the right side. I'm gonna bump through them real quick here. Understanding. Will AI really have the kind of understanding that people have at some point in the future? Um, Judgment. Will it be able to make the kind of judgments that we make in the future? Common sense. uh, Sometimes, I think the things on the right side, people haven't reached yet. But I'm not so sure common sense is common these days. I mean, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure
Right.
that some people couldn't use a
In
bit of a
fact, I think AI is a lot of times better at common sense than people are. I mean, honestly,
right.
if you ever use AI for advice, right? If you ever use it saying like, I've got this issue in my life, let me give you some context on it. What do you recommend?
Yeah.
Man, it'll come back with some awesome advice.
Yeah. It's better than most
It'll give you the
friends
top three
and
things you
cheaper.
should do, and that's because it's been trained by people that do have some common sense, but
Yes.
it's not so common. You're right.
Yeah, agreed. Goals. Obviously, AI is good at the micro part, how to do something and get it done and so forth. But the macro part of goals, why are we even doing all this? What goals should we have? Those type things. What's the limitations there? Sensations. Man, what's stopping a bionic nose from being able to smell, or put some ears on this robot? Why couldn't it hear? Touch sensations. I mean, I don't see anything stopping AI from having the same access to the things in its environment that people have.
Well, again, doesn't it already? I mean, not say ChatGPT, but what about self-driving cars? What
Yeah,
about Boston
very
Dynamic
much. Yep,
robots? I mean,
agreed.
do they not have senses already? I think they do.
And the other way, what about Neuralink? I mean, you mentioned Elon earlier. I mean, what about his Neuralink project? I'm not in the front of the line to get spikes into my gourd. You know what I'm saying? But if I
You don't want the
was,
mark of the beast implanted in your head, huh?
but if I was, then it can take the actual electromagnetic impulses within the brain, interpret those for a computer, and have that computer do certain things just by you thinking a certain way. Those who've had spinal injuries and so forth have already been a part of these implementations. They're able to play, Xbox games by thinking about moving the controllers. So, there's a lot in the future here. And I mentioned deep emotions, which we've kind of talked about before. I'm not sure a machine is ever going to have the kind of emotions that come from having, self-awareness, consciousness, life, if you will, in a
Right.
person. So to kind of bring Jeff's argument to the table here, we know the history. We're looking at the future. Clearly, we can see that there's a tremendous rise of what AI can do, and where does it fit right now? And his position is that AI is perfect for the how and to do, and people are really good at the what needs doing and why right now, and that's where he recommends that in practical applications of AI within your own business or within a business or within personal, that you recognize that people are better at the what and the why, and AI is really good right now at the how and the do. Who knows what the future is going to hold?
You see, I'd push back a little bit on
So,
that. I'd
yeah,
push
go
back a
go
little
ahead,
bit.
push
I'm not
back.
sure that I agree with that completely. It depends on the context and the at which how zoomed in are you on the problem, right? As you zoom out, the more meta you become, if you want to say that, like as you zoom out, then it all kind of becomes a how, right? So like say, okay, well, humans are better at the what and the why. What does that mean? That he's implying because we go to chat gpt and we say, hey, look, this is what I'm trying to do, this is the what I'm
Yep.
trying to get done, and here's why I'm trying to do it, how do I do it?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
well, what if you zoom out and say, the overarching problem is I'm trying to grow my business, or I'm trying to fix my marriage, or I'm trying to whatever it is, and now the how becomes what could have been someone else's what question, right? It could have been because they're coming in saying, I already know what I'm going to do, so tell me how to do it, versus
Yep.
someone backing up another level saying, I don't know what I want to do, except I just want to fix this. So what do I
Yeah.
do?
And
Right?
Joel, I can completely see your side, and I can even go one step further on your side.
Hmm.
The why, I found it to be
Yeah.
very, very a solid use of AI to have a conversation around, what do I want to do here? Why should my goals be what they are? Really going all the way back and just taking everything, whatever the topic is, throwing it on the table and having a conversation about every piece of it can really provide some clarity, especially as a business owner who is like, okay, what direction do I want to go here given all these different things, and, business and personal balance. There's a lot of things that AI can be very, very helpful
Hmm.
with, beyond just the do this, how to do this particular thing, and then the agent to be able to go ahead and interact with the real world and get things done for you. Agreed. I want to jump to the next section here. We talked
Yeah.
about um, the 5 sectors that are going to absolutely see AI replace people. And before I get to those 5 business sectors where that's going to happen the most, I want to talk about the 3 AI kill zones. Our next source here is Mr. Brendan Dale. I don't know anything about him other than I like what he had to say, so I decided to do some R&D. You know what R&D stands for, right?
I assume it's not what I think it is. So why don't you tell me?
This is research and development, or rip and deploy, your choice. So,
Oh,
I
there you go.
looked at
Yep.
this really spoke to me. He does a good job of breaking AI down into 3 kill zones. And then based on those 3 kill zones, it shows exactly what the business sectors are that are going to be affected most. So I think this is really important. I wanted to leverage his work here and give him some credit. You can see the URL here at the top if you're interested as well. Check it out yourself. So, number 1 kill zone: dull, repetitive work, manual, high volume, predictable. Things like data processing, invoicing, basic bookkeeping, basic creative type things, checklists and spreadsheets. That's the first of the AI kill zones. The second, data rich and rule bound, analyzing structured data and applying fixed rules or logic to get consistent outputs. These would be things like tax prep, legal review, medical coding, basic medical diagnostics. Basically, if it's this, then a that. So, like with basic medical things, well, this person do they have a fever? Yes. Well, then this. Well, if they have a fever and then this, do they have a that? So, very much data
Mhm.
rich and rule bound type things. The third, direct templated interaction, call centers, onboarding sales reps, sales account research, HR help desk, basic education, standardized test prep. These are things that are very direct, templated interaction, roles where human interaction follows a very predictable script. So these are the 3 AI kill zones, things that AI is really good at that with AI being so good at these things, it's going to be very easy for these type actions to be replaced with AI. Your thoughts, Joel?
I agree. I mean, we're seeing it already. It's already happening. A lot of people are, a lot of these types of jobs are being replaced or consolidated down, which effectively is replacing some of them, right? Consolidated down to someone that can do the job with AI or AI altogether. So, yep.
Absolutely. So, taking these 3 AI kill zones and putting them into the work sectors. What work sectors are the ones where AI is absolutely going to replace people in doing the job? So if you're in one of these work sectors, you need to perk up your ears because the time for action is now. The first work sector is this one, sector number 1, legal and compliance. Companies currently saving on legal cost. In AI kill zone 2, data rich and rule bound. So legal and compliance types of services are prime and rich for AI to replace people doing a lot of these jobs.
Yep. 100%. I mean, think about it. Think about the amount of time that that say paralegals are billing, right? To review case law, to review documentation, to create documentation. I mean, so much of that it's perfect for AI.
Absolutely. If you're a lawyer, if you have a law office, if you run a law office, if you deal with paralegals, be advised, AI is most definitely the place that you need to be looking to implement. AI can absolutely help in those type businesses a bunch. And if you are doing, these types of AI kill zone jobs, may want to, how can I say it? Do some training, do some elevating of your own skill sets and other things to avoid getting replaced. Secondly, accounting and finance. Clearly, these are in kill zones 1 and 2. Dull and repetitive work. I like the way he did this misspelled work right there.
Mhm.
That's how you know it was no. That's how you know he didn't use AI. Misspelled work. plus data rich and rule bound. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I can see that. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not in that world as much. But I could see that for sure. There's a lot there, just like with legal and compliance. There's a lot there that is ripe for AI to help with. To what extent, I wonder. Right? I know there's a lot of accountants that are going to be, barking at this, and like, there's no way, right? You can't do my job. But you know what? I'm in technology, and I've seen a lot of where AI can do what I do. So um, it's it does happen. It just it depends on to what extent.
Yeah, yeah. And in all of these, I think we're going to wind up with AI doing a lot of the work and people overseeing it for quality. That's what I
Yes,
expect.
exactly. Yep.
Hmm. Hmm. Medical billing and admin is the third sector. So here we're talking like administrative tasks and specifically medical billing task. Very bureaucratic. Uh, if then logic, data entry, easily singled out for automation.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, one of my first jobs when I was younger was working at a company that did. It was basically a healthcare network billing company. Well, I don't know. I was young. I didn't know all of how it worked, but I had a lot to do with data entry and taking stuff from the forms that'd be filled out at the doctor's offices, putting it into a system that then could be used by computers to bill and insurance, all that stuff. So um, they had even created something proprietary in house to scan these forms and read a lot of that information just from the picture from the scan, and then I would go through and I'd be sort of quality control, make sure the scan got it right. Well, man, I mean, that was how many years ago? AI now, you can take a picture of a page in a book, a math book or whatever, with AI, and man, it knows everything that's on that page. It'll tell you how to do the problems. It'll whatever may be. And
Create
so
you,
you
it
could
creates you a
say if
whole
you
game
scanned in a
to
form
teach it to
now,
you. Yeah.
say again.
Yeah, again, it'll create a whole game to teach you whatever the concepts
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
and be a teacher and a whole educational partner. Yeah, go ahead, Joel.
So yeah, if you scanned in forms now and you had AI on the back end running that, I mean, I don't see why how my job then would have even been necessary.
Joel, how mad are you that that type of job is going to be replaced by AR? I'm guessing that AI rather. I'm guessing that you weren't like super excited to go to work every day, and in the medical billing data entry role that you were there. I'm sure it was just
Well,
super
my
engaged.
my now wife worked there, so I was a little
Hell, it
excited to go to
worked.
work. but but yeah, man. I mean, I definitely not upset about those jobs being replaced necessarily. But it does beg the question, okay, what are the entry level jobs then for people? Because
Mm.
I've got kids that are, I'm thinking about that. And what are the entry level jobs going to be? If it's, yeah, they even talk about how even blue collar stuff is not going to be safe for too long, right? I mean,
Yeah, with robots, man,
there's
a lot of that stuff is
robots that can
being.
do a lot of this stuff. So
Yeah, yeah.
what are the entry level jobs going to be? I don't know. Maybe it's these kids that grow up with technology. We talk about all the time how good they are. It's native to them, and they're going to grow up with AI, and so maybe they will be the people that can come in already so well versed in AI that the entry level is what we consider now a couple rungs up the ladder.
Yeah, yeah, and it may be that entry level jobs are overseeing AI tasks, making
Yeah.
sure that things are right. I mean, I could easily see that as an entry level position, and it goes really with what we keep saying over and over: is AI going to replace people? Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
is, but it's
Yeah.
not going to. But people that are good with AI are going to replace people that are not. That's the truth. The roles and the who's doing exactly what. Yeah, AI is going to do some of the things that people are doing manually now, but it's people that are good with AI that are going to replace the people that aren't. That's just the way it is, and it's always been that way. It used to be that having computer skills and throwing that on your resume was like, well, yeah, because that'll help you get hired. Uh, well, obviously now everybody's good with computers. It's not even something you put on your resume or even ask. It's a given, right? I mean, it's just the way it is. Similarly with AI, I think not only now, but especially 5, 10, 20 years down. I mean, it's not even going to be a question about people being good with AI. It's going to be assumed that, well, of course, you know how to use AI. Well, of course, you know how to send an email or a communications. These are just givens. They're not going to be anything that separate people. But right now, being good with AI is a massive differentiator in this economy. So I would highly recommend that, for those of us that are very much involved in a career and growing that career, AI skills has a major portion of that.
Right, and I think, that's understanding that there's more to being good with AI than just being a good prompt engineer, right? There's
Absolutely.
so much more to it that a lot of people are missing. So, if that's, if this is resonating with you, then go out there, start doing that research. Obviously, we're here. This is what we do. We love to have the conversation, but do that research. Find out what are the things you don't know about AI right now. What are the
Yeah.
ways you can use it that you're not aware of? Because
Yeah.
that's what we mean when we say good with it.
Yeah.
There's most people have that first level of, yeah, I'm pretty decent at getting what I want out of the chat, but not very many go beyond that.
Very much, very much. So this is a great opportunity to invite you to our Thursday lunch and learn AI hands-on labs, because just like any other technology, being hands-on with it is how you get good at it. And putting yourself in a study session, a lunch and learn type of environment. It's a 1 hour team meeting where a bunch of professionals like us are on there that are decent with AI and that are learning AI there, others that are better and worse and so forth, and we're all learning together. It's a study group. Something like that, I highly recommend you join. It's like anything else. Whatever you
Yeah.
focus on, it's better. And focusing on AI, what it is, what it can do, what it can't do, and you using it in a hands-on way and watching other people do it and learning lessons from them and being able to ask questions, that's going to drastically escalate your own comfort and knowledge and the ability to use today's technology. So if you're interested in that, head over to the Valentia page. There you'll see events, Hands-On AI Labs. Click on the link, and we'll be glad to include you. It doesn't cost anything, and we would love for you to join us. So on to the fourth one, customer support and call centers. Yeah, I absolutely agree with this.
Yep.
Big investments in replacement, very high overhead. How much does it cost for a human to sit there and hope that phone rings 24 hours a day? That's ridiculous. This is a perfect place for AI.
Not to mention, I mean, just how much does it cost to pay the the people in call centers that are reading the scripts and out doing outreach essentially, right? So
Yeah.
it's so scripted, and I mean, man, I just this one's just obvious, and it's amazing though because I wouldn't have said it was obvious maybe a couple years ago, but it's amazing the way that AI voice agents and such have improved over the years.
Yeah, it is, and this is not just business stuff. This is personal stuff. I mean,
Mhm.
they're AI agents right now. I know I have a hard time with my cell phone. I mean, I don't know if other people are having this, but there has been a dramatic uptick in just spam calls and automated type calls and texts and all these other type things. So having an AI stand between me and incoming stuff and just be able to ask, hey, what's your name and why are you calling, and then be able to tell me, has really dramatically dropped off the number of annoyance type, disturbing you in the middle of the day type stuff. So yeah, absolutely, this AI as your own agent to kind of deal with things like customer support call centers in a business, but also on a personal level, I think is absolutely here and now.
Yep.
Sector 5, routine content or data management. And
Probably
as he
why you
said,
don't want to go on
that's
LinkedIn.
probably why you don't want to go
That's
on
hilarious.
LinkedIn. Oh, there's some real truth to that there. But yeah, again, this routine content and data management. I use AI a lot now for getting my thoughts and content out, because it really helps sharpen the communications. To the idea that you're trying to communicate, to put it in a way that's easy to be received by another person. We know that people like stories. People like to be the imagination of people, to be able to understand, okay, here's a context, and be able to imagine a situation and be pulled into that. That's the kind of content that resonates with humans. So AI is really able to take uh, a quick prompt for me, in regards to, hey, I really want to communicate this idea, type thing, and really be able to make it into something that is really easy for someone else to ingest and gets the things that I want to say in a manner that's easily able to be understood. So yeah, I use this content management a lot, to put my stuff together and to manage all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we
Yeah.
all get writer's block, right? How much time, those of us who are perfectionists, spend trying to wordsmith something that AI makes so much easier now. And it doesn't mean
Absolutely.
that you take the first take the first iteration off AI or any iteration off AI and it's good to go 100%. It might be 90%, but hey, man, that's 90%. That's pretty good,
Yeah.
right? Like that gets you a long ways out there. But man, I think that's why. I mean, this, again, it's funny. The way he points out, this is why you probably don't want to go on LinkedIn. I mean, I think that's you talked early on about the backlash that we feel towards AI. Some of it's fear, yeah, but some of it's true, because there's this, the term that you see often now, AI slop, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah. Yeah.
there's so much of it because there's so much.
That's
It's
true.
like anything. There's low effort. There's low effort in
Hmm.
every sector, every area you look at, and this is just the latest iteration of low effort, right? So you got people
Yeah.
that are out there, content creators. I use that in quotes. They're using low effort means with AI to just put slop out there. And you can tell when
Yes.
you read it, is there's something
You
about the
can.
way AI talks, right? And so
Yes.
yeah, if you're doing that, no good. Stop. We don't need any more of that.
It's
But
killing everybody. Stop it
yeah,
with the low quality work. And Joel, you nailed it right there. And it's something I mentioned at the beginning of you and I talking here today. There's something in the culture it's legitimate and real. It's when you watch one of these YouTube videos and the AI generated voice in the background, completely mispronounces something like FBI calls it Fibby, or you know what I mean. You
yeah,
can clearly, like, you know what, that's AI slop. And I think people really have a very visceral, I don't like that. And I don't like it either. Nobody likes, this idea of Chat GPT as the cheat for the homework for the student type thing, rather than Chat GPT, like I mentioned, creating an entire learning platform to really to
yeah,
really learn the concepts. No, it's considered a cheat. Just give me but it's not an AI thing, although AI gets a black eye for it. It's really a human thing, a
it's
low effort,
exactly what it
low
is. Yeah,
quality slop, right?
yeah. The backlash is towards the people that are misusing it, right?
Exactly.
That's
It,
exactly what it is. We're annoyed at the person who posted that AI slop. We're like, I'm instantly, it's block, done, block. I don't want to see anything from this person
absolutely.
anymore because that's clearly all
Exactly.
they're doing is they're trying to get their views up by posting 20 times a day because AI is posting it all for them and writing it all for them. I don't want to see that. Like let's
Exactly.
clean that up. So yeah, it's not the
Exactly.
AI so much. AI is just a tool. It's like anything. It's a tool. Use it
It
right,
is.
and you can get great results. Use it wrong, and you get blocked.
Exactly. Yeah, I see that a lot in the YouTube comments. AI blocked, AI
Yeah,
unsubscribed. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it really isn't. It's kind of aimed toward AI, but it's not really. When you think about it, it's
right.
really an indictment on low quality, low effort human. You're exactly right. So, Joel, the big question now, what? What now? I mean, we've talked about exactly what AI is. We've talked about information and data, becoming information, becoming knowledge, becoming wisdom and action. We've looked at how AI fits into that as a technology. We've looked at the kill zones. We've looked at the three kill zones, what AI really does in those zones that makes, these particular tasks really high priority to be used. And we've looked at the 5 work sectors that are going to take the biggest hit when it comes to AI replacing people. So, what should we do now?
I mean, if you're in that sector, you got to be thinking about this. You got to be planning for that, preparing for it. But also, I look at this and I say, I'm a business owner, and some of these sectors are still staffed by people, right? Like, I, I should be thinking, is this really the best use of my funds? Right? I mean, there's my competitors are replacing people with AI, and
Shouldn't
suddenly they're
I?
going to be able to run circles around me when it comes to their pricing, right? So
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways to think about that.
Man, that's what I was thinking. That's the reason I put here on this last slide, what now? Because it depends on who you are. If you're the person that's being replaced, well, I recommend if you're interested in continuing to have a solid career, it might be a little bit of time for some education or a little bit of a change up. If you're a business that's in one of these sectors, I highly recommend that you take AI up on it. I mean, for us, we're in the business of securing businesses, right? Cybersecurity is first and foremost with us. And AI is the technology of today that needs to be secured and implemented. So a lot of what we do is AI and cyber. So for us, I look at these industries and think, what businesses in my area do I need to be talking to? Because these are great opportunities for people like us that are implementers of AI. And for these business owners, it's a great opportunity if you are one of these in one of these sectors to grab a hold of AI and be able to implement it and get ahead. But I tell
Yeah,
you, man, the time is moving fast. Now is not the time to do nothing. If you're hearing us, now's the time to act while you have, at least a little bit of opportunity to get ahead of some competitors. Joel, I fear by 2026, it's not going to be a matter of getting ahead. You're going to be behind. You're going to be playing catch up.
right.
We're looking here. We're second week in October here. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not like a lot's going to get done between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So what are we talking about? A month? I'm
yeah,
thinking if you're hearing my voice, you better get to talking to us now. We better get busy, right?
yep. I mean, it's not often that we get a chance like this in our lifetime, right? You think about the technological advancements over the years, and like, man, if I could have just been there when the car was first invented, or man, if I could have just been there when electricity was invented. Well, you're here now, right?
Yes,
AI
absolutely.
AI is on the cusp, and in some ways, it has already taken off. In some ways, that ship is almost out of the dock, right? It's you can run and try to jump on the back half of it, right? But after that, it's going to definitely, like you said, you're going to be jumping in the motorboat trying to catch up.
Let's do it. Let's secure it. If AI is running around your business right now, let me tell you how you know AI is running around your business right now because you haven't done anything. If there's
Mhm.
a
Yep.
vacuum in the business right now because you haven't, as a AI, you haven't as an HR type of process, put in an AI use policy as a business. You've provided no direction to the business,
Yeah.
nor to the
Yeah.
people in the business how it should be used. If you haven't put some kind of security policies in place on a basic firewall to see what is actually being used in the business, then you don't know what's being used in the business. But I would almost assure you that in the vacuum of you providing AI to your people, they are providing AI to you as the business. Because people who have recognized they've crossed between I don't get AI and I get AI, they don't go back. I'm not going to be a
Yep.
person who doesn't use AI. Once you have that conversion event, I'll even say, once you really get it, it's like, well, of course I want to be empowered. Why would I not want to be? So the person in the business is going to be empowered. It's going to be empowered by the AI that you choose to implement as the business, or it's going to be brought to the business by the employee. And so when they do that, it's a security risk. So now's the time to secure public AI, to provide a secure private AI platform. You don't send people to work and not give them the tools like Word and Excel or email or whatever, scheduling. I mean, AI is a part of today's tech stack. So if it's not a tech stack, if it's that's not in your tech stack as the business, then you're behind. Let me say that
Right.
clearly. You're behind. You
Yep.
need to add AI into your tech stack so that you're providing it to your people. Then you'll be able to deal with AI in the business. Otherwise, that glass is not there. You've got a big hole that you're not willing to deal with. It's not the time to wait. So that's what's now. If you're
Yeah.
hearing us, we're speaking to business owners and folks that are in charge of technology and things like that. Now's a great time to let's secure AI. Let's put some platforms in place. It's very affordable. There's a wide range of offerings. Things have grown a lot in the last few years with AI. Now's the time to embrace some of the things that's going on and move forward.
Yep. Yeah, if you're like me and you don't install the latest iOS because it's got a .0 at the end of it, right? Like you want .1 or .2, you want some of the bugs to get worked out, you want to get a little cheaper. Now's the time. That's now, right? We're not on the first iteration. We're far from the first iteration now. And so
Absolutely.
you're at exactly like Ron said. I mean, you've got users that are coming in. Imagine like having a company with no company email. What would happen? Would the users just not use email? No,
Oh, they'd use
they
your
would come
Yahoo
in with their,
account.
hey, Bob, what's your email address? I need to send you something. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Bob Smith at Yahoo. Okay, well, it's coming from me. It's Joe Johnson at Gmail. Yeah,
Right.
like they're going to use it. Everybody uses AI because they don't have a choice anyway. Nowadays you get on Google, you get on any search engine, the first result's AI. They're
Yeah.
using it now. So they're using it in your company if you are not putting some guardrails around it, some official policy around it, like then it's just happening out like the wild west right now. So get ahead of it.
Absolutely.
Now's the
Absolutely. Number one, you gotta lock down public AI in the business. Number two, you got to provide an alternative, a private, secure AI. There's options on that. We'd be glad to go through with that. Thirdly, don't waste your money. There's a return on investment here,
time.
but not if you just go buy a $30 Copilot from Microsoft and give no direction to the business. Well, I heard that we should be investing in AI, so I went ahead and bought the $30 Microsoft Copilot subscription, and you know what? Waste of money. Well, of course, you didn't plan anything around it. There's been no. So, for us, what we do an AI Jumpstart program, which is normally it can be as small as 30 days, it can be as long as 90 days. But basically, what are you trying to do as a business? Where does AI fit? Is AI currently used? Let's lock it down. Let's figure out what AI makes sense. Let's get something in place and let's get it up and going. Let's get out of the gate. That jump start is what we offer for that. For those of you who are maybe tried it and didn't like it because
Right.
maybe it didn't turn out to be a return on investment because it wasn't approached correctly, if you would. Let's get on a jumpstart program with us and look at some workflows that make sense. Look at where it makes sense in the business and get some security around it and have today's technology part of your tech stack. Now's the time.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Copilot thing's interesting because the question comes up often. Is this just a private AI platform, but it's not Copilot, it's not native within Microsoft. Well, the private AI platform still can be integrated with your Microsoft environment,
Of
integrated with
course.
your Outlook, with your Teams, with your OneDrive, and these things are continuing to be built out. In fact, depending on which platform we talk about, we have multiple that we recommend depending on the use case. It can be fully integrated with everything you have as far as company data, or it can be partially integrated depending on how you want to do it. But the
Yeah.
integration is there. So are you saying it really makes sense then to spend, like you said, at least $30 per user in your company for something they may not even use, the integration with Microsoft anyway, the fact that it's native? Or you spend much less money on something that everybody can use from a pool of credits that is integrated, that they can still use, put company data into without you worrying about it getting leaked out somewhere. I mean, that
Absolutely.
just makes so much more sense.
It does. And, a good platform, we've got several, is going to provide you the ability to have role based access controls. It's going to provide you the
Mhm.
ability to have access to all of the LLMs, or at least the main ones. I'm thinking
Right.
of at least 50 right out of the gate, even at our least expensive offering in the secure platform, is going to give you all of the good stuff. And you can control who gets access to what because it's not the same price to use this one as that one. So maybe you want to spend more for this particular group here of whatever in the business. Maybe you want to spend less for this department and having those controls in one place, having the dealing with AI so you can kind of rest in your own heart a little bit in an appropriate way and empowering your people. It feels really good.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things right now. Joel, you mentioned we're in a great time right now in technology and to be doing this stuff because we have so many cool tools to bring to businesses to help them. And it's really encouraging for us. I mean, we do so much cybersecurity work and those are challenging times. I mean, so many times we see business owners and folks at their worst, it's kind of like, oh, a really bad thing has happened. We got you. But with this, it's not the defensive side; it's really the offensive side, right?
Right.
Like Bear Bryant said with Roll Tide football, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. Could not be more true. AI is the offense on this side of things, where you can really grab a hold to it and man, get excited excited about what it can do. And people within the business feel empowered. And so it's kind of like a way, dare I say, to give your employees a raise without a direct raise. It makes their job easier. Why would you not want to? I mean, if you want
Yep.
quality people that are invested in the company, that feel empowered and feel like they're not missing out, a simple secure AI platform that gives them access to every AI in a controlled way that they can do their jobs with, and an encouragement from the company to do that, they come out on the other side empowered. Now they don't feel left behind in their career because they're getting AI training, they're using it every day. It's just a slam dunk right now. It's one of the best parts about our job, Joel and I, what we do every day, because we were really able to help businesses step forward in a cost effective way. And the people within those businesses, from the owner down to every person in the business, really feels like they've leveled up, and it feels great.
It really does. Yep. I agree. I was going to say, if you're watching this right now, if you can do us a favor, we're live on multiple platforms, right? So I'd love to know where you're watching us on. If
Yeah.
you're watching this now, if you could just throw a quick comment, a hi, type AI, whatever you want to type, right? Just say something in the comments so we know where you're watching us. And if you're not watching live, if you're watching this after the fact, that's fine too. Please just put it in there, and that'll help us understand where you're seeing this.
Agreed. And reach out to us, DM us.
Yep.
This is normally on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Send us a message. We would love to. We would love to work directly with you, figure out where you're at, and be helpful to you. That's why we do these, just to reach out to folks just like you that are listening. So with that, I'm going to wish you guys a absolutely awesome weekend, and I think I'm going to go get started on one myself. How about you, Joel?
Yeah, man. After I get my work done,
Hey, why don't you
go rest
take off
quick,
this
right?
afternoon,
But
Joel?
hey,
You've been
man, we
working
got
hard.
yeah, got a weekend coming up, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right.